So Luke, it's been a little while since we had one of these sessions, and I think a really apt subject for us to pick up on is advisory. There's a lot at the moment going on social media among accountants. Actually, what is advisory? Do we do advisory? And kind of just this whole kind of concept between compliance and advisory. So maybe a great topic for us to choose. So maybe first off question to you, what are your thoughts on what advisory is and whether firms do it, don't do it? Probably quite a long loaded question, but...
No, well, I think firms naturally do advisory. My general take on it is that actually you can call it what you wish, but we give our clients the support and what they need. So whether that's talking to them about finance function transformation, how they can make their processes more efficient, which goes from operations all the way through to their finance function. So in everything we do, we're taking our experience, our best practice that we've seen from our experience previously, from our large portfolio of clients, and we're bringing the best in class to our clients. So therefore I think us sharing our knowledge and our wisdom, well, I'd like to think it's wisdom, but sharing our wisdom is technically advisory. It just falls into that remit.
So you picked up on one point there, which is experience, expertise, wisdom that we share, which is kind of one of the four things around consulting. Another one being information, another one being around execution as well. So maybe just picking up on the execution point, kind of maybe add a bit more flavour in terms of the full breadth of consulting if we were to talk down the execution. Because I think a lot of accountants, I see certainly, they do some of the share experience, advise, all that sort of stuff. But when you come to the end, the execution, the roadmap, they might not go that far, that level of depth, that level of detail, and kind of fall short of the full consulting spectrum, if you like.
Yeah, well, so our consulting services, as I say, falls more into our one-off pieces of work that we can do for clients, which then, for example, building management information forecasts, so cash flow forecast, P&L balance sheet cash flow, or it could be a system implementation. So we're taking a client, we're taking a business that needs an area of focus, an area of improvement. We're discovering, we're understanding. So actually we go in and work out exactly what they need. So just listening to them, taking all that information in, and then coming back to them and saying that this is the best solution for you. And to me, that's advisory, because we're taking different facts, taking bits of information, we're taking what are their issues, what are their problems that we're trying to fix. And then we're advising them how to fix them. And yeah, we may actually help them through that journey of also fixing them. But as a standalone, we can also just help them understand what the issues are and how to fix them.
Yeah. Okay. And what's your view on kind of advisory being a subset of accounting, or something in its own right? Kind of what's your perspective on that?
Well, we have business advisors on across all our portfolio of our clients. So that term business advisor, that is them supporting the business in terms of a recurring scope of work as well. So at the end of us producing some management accounts, actually sitting down and understanding and translating that to a management team that might not be from a finance background. And those conversations naturally just lead towards where is the client going to go in the future? What are they looking to grow and expand? And it might not be giving them the actual answer of this is what you need to go away and do, because we're specialists in finance and accounting, not in whatever the nature of that business is. But that leads on to us giving those challenging, probing questions, which, yeah, in my eyes, falls into what we call business advisor. That is their role to take the finance information, allow a client to understand it, and then also advise them on next steps, how to move forwards.
Yeah. And you and I obviously have a background in a Big Four firm. So for me, advisory, I actually sat in a service line called advisory for about 5 years, where I was a subset of that, which was consulting or finance transformation or finance consulting. And so for us, very much advisory is an internal focused way of splitting up the services that we offer to our clients. I think that's one of the key things. So when we talk about advisory, we know what we mean. When we talk to our clients, we never say, hey, we're going to sell you an advisory solution. We listen to what their pains are. We turn those pains back into potential solutions, and we talk about the value we will bring to our clients. We never say, hey, here's a piece of advisory work and it's going to cost you X number of thousands of pounds or X number of days. We talk about the pain, the solution, and the value they're going to get from it. And that's really how we frame the advisory work, or the advisory notion that we internally label advisory to our clients. I mean, nobody gives a shit externally, or clients don't care if it's advisory or not advisory. They just want solutions to their pains, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And internally, it helps for us we monitor our own revenues, our own KPIs, our own metrics in terms of how we're performing, and that helps us internally divide it up. But actually, from the client's perspective, it is with Flinder, we provide them a full solution. So whether that falls into our finance part of our finance function, or into our advisory or our data engineering team, as you say, they don't care about that as long as they're getting the support, the advice, the output from our expertise.
Just like if you or I would go into a store and buy a product, buy a t-shirt, for example, right? We could buy it on the internet, we could buy it in store, or we could buy it through someone like a John Lewis or a Selfridges or that sort of model. We're a bit different because we're accountants and we see it from the other side, but we don't talk about we're going to buy it retail, we're going to buy it e-com, or we're going to buy it wholesale, which is the way they view themselves internally, and they talk about the different channels internally, and they're very clear what they want to what they want to grow, because it's a route to market or a service line. Us as a customer, we view it very differently, and so that's exactly how it's a very similar analogy for us in our advisory services, our consulting services, and our recruitment finance.
It's just the overall customer journey in that case, and exactly the same for our clients. It's the client journey, the client experience, and it's
yeah. So, anything else you want to say about advisory services?
No, I think covered quite a bit there.
Yeah, but what's your view on other accounting firms? I mean, certainly I look at other accounting firms and think every other accountant probably does an element of advisory work, maybe not labeling it to the outside world as advisory, but actually they provide advice, whether it's pay your tax on time, which is a very, very basic advice, or whether they're doing it really, really far to the nth degree in terms of the consultative approach and doing a full finance transformation with a roadmap, actually walking them through it and going through kind of the transformation methodology. There's accountants of all sorts will do advisory work, is my view.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same with any kind of professional service, I think, as well. To use an analogy like with a lawyer, they are taking in information, they understand what the issues are, and they tell you back what the answer is. They're advising. Any sort of professional services, in my view, is advisory. It's just to what kind of stretch.
To a certain degree. So any prospective candidates, hell yeah, we do advisory. To prospective clients, we'll help you fix your problems with our solutions. It's just what we call it internally, and that's my view. So yeah, we do advisory, huh?
Absolutely.